everybody, Loader for Life here, bringing you guys a brand new deck profile. This time around is my Dracoslayer Igknights. This is basically an expansion on my original Igknight build, which I will link down below if you guys are curious. So way back whenever Igknights first came out with like the original Dracoslayer, back when Luster and Ignister were the only two Dracoslayers and stuff, I built a Igknight deck that was basically just Igknights with the Luster Pendulum and Ignister in it. And I did really well with that deck, and I wanted to expand on it and revisit it, especially now that Dracoslayers and Draco Overlords are a full archetype and everything. And I've been really testing out this deck. It's really fun, it's really fast, it can do some really derpy things. I absolutely love this deck, and it's honestly one of my favorite Pendulum decks out right now. Anyways, let's get on to the deck profile. No more uhs or ohs or sums and blah blah blah. Anyways, so first and foremost is these nice and shiny, super rare Igknight Gallants. 3 of which, wow, that is a weird looking glare on it in my camera. But yeah, Igknight Gallant, he's one of the big level 6s. He's the only level 6 I play. I don't really like the other guy. He's more defensive than offensive. He's really good. I just like him for his scale and, well, basically his effect. All the Igknights, they basically have the same scales and effects. So, next up, 3 Margrave, 2 supers, 1 common. God dang it, I can't get me another super. Anyways, moving on. 3 Templar, I almost forgot his name for a second there. And 3 Paladin. These guys are your main level 4s and rank 4 makers. You need 5, any number of them, to go into the big guy, Rodominiard. I can't pronounce his name. 3 Crusader and 3 Squire. That is it for the Igknight stuff. I don't play, what was her name? Cavalier? I can't remember. The new level 5 and the new level 6. I don't play either of those because I honestly don't really like their skills. Like, if I were to play either of them, I'd probably cut out Margrave for the other level 6. I think his name is Veteran. But however, I don't know. I really like being more offensive than defensive, and I only really play 1 defensive Igknight other than Squire, because he's the only other level 3, and that's Margrave. So now for the Dracoslayer and Draco Overlord stuff, I play 2 of basically every Dracoslayer and Draco Overlord that's not at 1. And then 1 Luster Pendulum. So that's 2 Draco Overlord, 2 Draco Overlord, Vector Pendulum, 2, crap, what was the name? Vector Pendulum. I keep wanting to call him Rector Pendulum. Basically, these guys, they just negate your opponent's Pendulum skills and stuff. You don't really put the Draco Overlords and Dracoslayers into Pendulum skills too often, because you mainly use them for your Xyz and Synchro Fodder and everything else. This deck really relies on these guys to make your main extra X stuff. Like, you almost never go into anything other than the Dracoslayer Xyz, Synchro Fusion, stuff like that. But however, these guys are really good. They all have really good Pendulum effects. Except for, yeah, maybe this guy, which you don't really use very often. But however, this guy also has a really good monster effect. I think he just like pops any non-Pendulum battles. I can't really remember it. Don't really use it too much. Really good though. Now into the spells, because I mean, like, if I'm going too fast, I'm sorry, but this is all self-explanatory. Like, so self-explanatory. But once we get to the spells and stuff, I get to explain more. So, first and foremost, 3 of the Ignition Phoenix, the Igknight Field spell. Really good spell card. All Igknights get 300 more attack and defense. You have no idea how much that helps. And you can pop a card on the field that you control. 2 starts out an Igknight card. It's really useful. Next up, 3 Summoner's Arts. So somebody starts out Veteran and Margrave. Sorry, not Veteran, Gallant. I got Veteran's name stuck in my head now. 2 Heart of the Underdogs, because 90% of this main deck is normal monsters. 2 MST, because like nothing in this deck wants to be discarded. And now we get to the fun stuff. 1 Poly. I do play good old First of the Dragons. He's a really good fusion monster. Really good card. A lot of decks can't get over him, but however, now that Blue Eyes is around, he's not as good as he used to be. But anyways, 1 Rhoda starts out my level 4s and lowers. I hate it how Rhoda's at 1 now. It drives me nuts because, like, I miss Rhoda being at 3. And then 1 Draco Face-Off. You know, it's pretty standard stuff overall. I still absolutely love this deck. It's so fun. Now we get to the extra deck, which gets a bit interesting. So, first and foremost, for the rank 3s, I play 1 Nightmare Shark and 1 Break Sword, just simply for attacking directly, finishing off my opponent, and popping stuff. That's, you know, pretty self-explanatory. 1 YgoAmino, you don't really get to go into more than 1. I've seen some people who play 2, but it's so rare that you actually get to go into more than 1. And if you gotta go into more than 1, then you probably are in a very bad position, because I haven't seen very many people survive even 1 of these guys. So if you guys don't know what YgoAmino does, he gets more effects for each Xyz material that he has on him. So he needs at least 2, but however max 5. During each of your opponent's end phase, detach 1 Xyz material from his card. The following effects are added based on how many Xyz materials he has. 1 or more, he cannot be destroyed by battle. 2 or more, he gains 1500 attack, which makes him a 3k beater. 3 or more, unaffected by other card effects. Well, by other cards, yeah, by card effects. 4 or more, your opponent cannot normal summon or special summon monsters. 5, once per turn, you can destroy all cards your opponent controls. Now, sadly, there's no way to keep him from detaching his Xyz materials, but for the most part, if you don't really win right away after you summon this guy, it's so surprising, like, really. Because at this point, like, if you can make him with 4 or so materials, you lock your opponent out of their normal and special summons, which means all they get to do is set monsters. And since he's unaffected by card effects, they can't do anything about it. And they can't tribute him off for a kaiju because they can't special summon. 1 Gaga Cowboy to finish off my opponent if like they're low on life points. 1 Abyss Dweller to, you know, just stop opponent's stuff in graveyard. 1 Daigusto Emerald, just simply to recycle stuff. This is like the only way you can make 2 YgoAmino is if you shuffle back all 3, like 2 or 3 level 4s back into the deck, and then just hope that you get to them real quick again. It's, again, really hard to make 2 YgoAmino, so I just don't recommend it. 2 Magister Paladin, the Ascending Dracoslayer. Basically, it's Dracoslayer Xyz monster. Whenever it's Xyz summoned, during the end phase, you get to search out a Pendulum monster, which is really nice. And you can detach Xyz material during your main phase to special summon a Dracoslayer Dracoslayer Pendulum monster from your extra deck, but it cannot be used for an Xyz summon. Excuse me. 1 Castel for general spot removal. 101 Dark Rebellion. And since I'm playing some level 6s, I play 1 number 39 Utopia Beyond, just simply to go help me go for game and stuff. The Dracoslayer Fusion, he protects your skills and lets you reborn a Dracoslayer from your graveyard, but cannot be used for fusion summon. 1 First of the Dragons, because this thing auto wins you against most decks except for Blue Eyes. Like, pretty much every deck except for Blue Eyes. And then 1 Ignister, because Ignister is busted. I mean, seriously, non-targeting, non-destruction, spot removal is really good. My only issue is that there's no other Dracoslayer Synchro, so he's the only one you can go into. So guys, that is the deck profile. Again, I'm sorry if it was, like, so short, like, compared to my normal deck profiles. But, like, seriously though, like, everything is so self-explanatory with, like, the Ignites and, like, the Dracoslayers and stuff, and I just realized I'm not on camera, like, like, everything is just so self-explanatory that I don't need to explain it too much, aside from the fact that I don't play the other level 5 who has more attack, but has a scale 2, and I generally like to have a, you know, like, one of, I generally like to pair these all together and stuff. I mean, yeah, I could probably swap out Margrave for Veteran, which would probably be a better idea. The thing is, I don't have a Veteran, and I haven't seen anybody have any Veterans for a long time, so I kind of got to stick with what I have, which I don't really mind too much. But Margrave also opens up the options to go into rank 5s, which I don't have in here because really, honestly, the extra deck space is kind of tight with, like, the rank 4s and stuff, and the fusions and everything. If I could cut out something, I'd maybe cut out, let's see here, I'd probably cut out 101 for a, Fulgosaurus, but aside from that, maybe, I don't know. Anyways, guys, tell me what you guys think about the deck profile. I absolutely love Ignites, and mixing them with the Dracos just makes them such a fast and powerful deck. I know people are going to comment saying that I need Royal Magical Library in here, but I just do not like that card in this deck. Not in this build, at least. Not in this build, maybe in a different build, but in this build with the Dracoslayer stuff, there's just not enough room in the main deck to fit the Dracoslayers and Draco Overlords and Royal Magical Library. So And also I just don't really like the card. Anyways, guys, that's the deck profile. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you all for watching. If you have any comments or suggestions, please leave them down in the comments below. I love reading your guys' comments. Even the hate comments, believe it or not. Thank you all for watching. Have a great day. If it's your birthday, happy birthday. And see you all later.